Well, that was supposed to work, but it didn't work quite well. What's going on, everybody? This is Tales from the Flipside for July 6th, 2020. I tried. It got cut.
Good.
It looked good.
Yeah, what failed on it?
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to try it again? You want to see it again? Let's try it again.
Okay.
Just needs a better fade out and the music to go a little bit more.
Yeah, hey, I just love the song. Every time I listen to the song, dude.
I'm a little upset that Nico got the Memorex tape and I got Gold Star. I mean, come on.
I'm also happy that I'm young enough that I don't know what he's talking about.
We're gonna get Stein an 8-track.
You know, you should cut. You should supercut the Discord collectible one with the spinning vinyl.
Yes,
cut that in there.
Do that for Vintage Voyage.
Why is this should just be Paul's problems? I don't even know it should be Paul.
Yeah, we tried. We're all a little.
I like the song though, man, and the tape going in is a nice start. Version 1.0 is a good start.
Yeah, we're getting there.
See, look. Gold Star sucked. It was terrible. It was Memorex was where you did your mixtapes. Always.
Well, the only reason I did that, Ben, is because I figured it had Ohio State colors.
No. Gold Star was like what you bought it like. Gold Star was like what you bought at like the grocery store or something like that.
Hey, all I know is the best part about using those tapes is none of the companies are in service anymore, so they can't sue us for shit.
That is true.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining us again every Monday. We are without the one and only Paul W. today. Shout out to Paul, and he's probably watching flying on some crazy helicopter or something.
He's out making stories, making memories for us.
He's listening to his car right now. You know he is. He's going to call me up. Like, dude, I'm going to get on the show in my car again.
Yeah.
Okay, knock it off with the Ohio stuff. Okay, we're tired of it.
Hey, we're never tired of the Ohio stuff.
Oh God.
Oh man.
You guys want to go? You guys want to go around the circle? You want to start it off, Z?
No, I don't have anything to say tonight. I'm just ready. That intro, I think, does it.
Okay.
I think we'll get. I'll work on that. It'll be much better next week. What I do want to say though is to all the viewers and everybody out there, that all the subscribers, thank you. We appreciate you guys, and the channel has been kicking ass, and we're trying to make it a little bit better for everybody. And if anybody out there has any extra time and might want to help us out, we're more than welcome to take help. I'll just say that.
If you have computer skills, we'll pay you in.
Like if you can do,
we'll pay you in comic books.
Yeah.
Or those badass like video intros and
yeah.
cool
If you let me get on my my little hacking stuff. If you're into video editing and graphic artist or any type of that stuff, and like YouTube analytics, hit me up, man. So
let's do it.
All right. But by the way, if you didn't watch Vintage Voyage last night, freaking Peter is killing it with the graphics there. They look sharp.
Yeah, man. I don't even know why I did that. Now that you say that,
dude, that looked good. I liked it, but he's got
good.
His eye for templates, man. The patriotic thing looked good.
I like the American flag you boys had, and the American flag in the background was dope. We should have done that. We should have done that, Nico. What are we doing?
Fail.
I struggle.
Just throw it out there. Check out Peter's articles and everything else. All the other guys on the channel are contributors at comicbookinvest.com, CBSI. So show them some love. Check out some articles. We're going to highlight a flashback of one of Topher's masterpieces at some point tonight. So, yes. And the one and only Ben Stein, who does the original top 10 list.
The original. The very first. The OG.
Yes.
The only people who did it. The only people who did it before him was Wizard. God damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a hot 10 list.
Yeah,
And-
and Wizard gave it up. So
Yeah.
And if you guys
Sorry,
haven't,
Mr. Seamus.
Yeah, they bowed down when Stein's list came out and said we out.
Makes sense.
and if you guys haven't been watching the show on Friday nights, you're missing out. It's a party every show. This last weekend was 4th of July strong, and it was a lot of fun. And
I think we went longer than we normally. We almost went made an hour Friday.
I went longer than normal because I was up till like 4 a.m. with drunken chat son, man. I always get caught into the drunken chat son. It's fun.
Melfi is a
An
tricky
institution.
guy. He will get you going, and next thing you know, it's morning. Ask Ozzy. He knows what the magic of Mel V and things that make you make poor choices.
I will say, make sure that you guys go subscribe to the Mighty Mel V channel. The shows that he's doing, the Drunken Chat Son shows, are so much fun to watch, to take part in. He does killer giveaways. Like some of the books that he's given away, like I want to message him and be like, "Don't give that away, dude. Don't give that away." He gave away a Venom #3 Previews PX variant.
Whoa.
And then he gave away one of the Miles where he's getting arrested.
Oh.
He gave away one of those, and then he was about to give away the Miles and the Gwen where they're kissing. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like you're going crazy here, man.
Yes.
Since everybody's promoting everything else, I do want to promote our lovely Nico's lovely Facebook page he loves so much. We are at 9,908 members.
Yeah, I actually like the IG page that I basically run with Paul's assistance. If if it's a bad meme, it's mine. If it's like a classic one, it's Paul. It's once every 2 months or something. But yeah, please check us out. We're up at like $2,000. What's up?
I don't know. Yeah, we're at 2008. Hey, 12 more.
Yeah,
we're almost in the current
You've
year.
done a great job with that, Nico, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank you, kind sir. Thank you. Halle Berry did a great job for us today.
I bet you did. I like this Rambo. I'd buy this actually. Or Rando. This is awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. I dated a girl like her in college.
Oh boy. Shots fired.
Oh, dark.
Should we maybe get focused a little bit? I don't know.
Sorry. All right.
Made the audience wait, and now we're making them listen to
Nonsense. I apologize.
all of our. Paul's not even here, guys. I mean, that's usually where we go sideways.
Well. Hey, we gotta do some. We gotta pay the bills, man. Okay, we gotta do. Some
What's on the outline?
The outline.
We have an outline too. We're professionals.
Let's start with an outline. Jesus Christ, why would we do such a thing?
Hold on. Which of us 5 looked at the outline?
Well, I think Nico and I wrote it, so that's
And nobody else.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll follow you though.
Well, I think kind of the biggest, most quick, or most recent news of the day is the grading company deciding they're going to branch out. CGC has decided they're getting into the card game, and they are going to be grading. It looks like right now, Magic and.
So it's only gaming. I guess Stein, is it gaming cards? I guess you would call it.
I think it's Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh. I think is what they've.
No Pokemon.
What's a Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh boy, you didn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah,
Shots fired.
Oh boy,
Shots fired.
you should just leave the channel now. You just leave it. It's terrible.
So,
This is very smart for them to. I mean, when I first heard they were doing cards, I was like stupid. And then when I heard that they were doing they weren't really doing sports cards, I was like, okay, I get that.
Yeah, they're not going to break easily into the sports card market like that, but the gaming market, the comic market are very kind of tied. So getting a label that you are used to is a solid choice.
That label is garbage, though.
Oh boy,
You all do understand that CGC used to own SGC, right?
Yeah.
Do they not anymore?
No.
Well, the parent company of CGC owned SGC, right?
It was all under
The coin.
Collectors
Universe.
No, Collectors Universe is PSA.
I
can't remember what it was called, but it was back when SGC ran on a 100-point system. They were part of Standard Guarantee. I think is, or no, that's SGC. I don't, whatever it is. Anyway,
Standard Guarantee Company is SGC.
That's what it stood for back in the day, and they were under the same thing as CGC. So they both had the same, with the little scale or whatever, as their emblem. They had the same thing. So this is not new for CGC. It's new that they're calling themselves CGC as the grading card company.
And let's go. Can we go back? Can we flash up the picture again so I can critique the hell out of this thing? I mean, I understand you have a branding and a presence. I mean, I truly do understand it, but I think I'm not digging. Yeah, I'm not digging the label.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I understand it. It's just I don't know, man. I mean, I guess all the stuff's on the back, right? The serial number has to be on the back. All the other stuff, all the important data has to be on the back of the card. Like,
it's almost a little trimmed up, and I get why they had to do it. They only have so much real estate.
Yeah.
But
all the so if you didn't know what that was, I mean, I guess it'd be Juan Soto on the front, right? If I'm going to MLB, Juan Soto, and then that would be the I mean, I don't know the back. I don't know. It's gonna be
here's for the record. This may be interesting. The one guy who will never grade any of these cards, never ever try to do anything with cards ever again. I like the way it looked. I was like, oh, this looked nice. That was the first thing I thought.
I don't think
either I'm 100% wrong, or I don't know.
It
Maybe
looks
that might be it.
familiar.
It looks
I don't think
familiar.
it looks-
Yes.
I don't think it looks bad. I would like to see what the actual dimensions of the case are, because it looks like, based on the size of the card and then the
Label size.
the label size, that it's going, like, PSA and Beckett cases are very similar. They're the exact same height.
Yeah.
I'm afraid this one is going to be taller. If it's taller, it's going to be crap.
It's tall and it looks big. It looks girthy.
It looks like one of these boys. So I got a bigger boy. So it kind of looks like a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Like this one's pretty big compared to.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Beckett cases, I mean.
Yeah, they're tight. They're pretty tight.
I mean, this is a Beckett case with a PSA. Here's a PSA case with the top, and then a Beckett case. Now they're the same height and width.
Yes.
But the thickness, you probably can't see it, but the Beckett case is much thicker
Yes.
than a PSA case.
And I agree with you that the CGC looks it looks like it's going to be maybe 10% taller.
Yeah, just because of the label size.
And then you can't fit. Yeah, all those people who buy those briefcases, or I don't know, man. I mean, Monster Box. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
I mean, it's an interesting concept.
Yeah. I mean, the real question is not the label, not that they're getting into it. It's what their grading criteria is going to be, right, Stein? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're running off the same scale as, because they had Jim Min as 9.5, so it looks like they're going to run the same scale as Beckett.
Yeah.
Where 9.5 is basically equal to a PSA 10, and then have pristines beyond that. But
I hope CGC does a black label. I wonder if Beckett patent that.
Steve Horn, outstanding comment. Do you think they'll offer Marvel labels like they do at the comics so you can match them?
I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be cool. I mean, if you had a Magic the Gathering or a Pokemon label, people would buy. I mean, Pokemon people are crazy. They'd buy a Pikachu label. I mean, look how many people buy Stan Lee and Spider-Man labels. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of people that have bought those Spider-Man labels and stuff like that.
So here's an interesting. So they're starting with the gaming cards, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say exclusively gaming card enthusiasts and sports cards enthusiasts are not the same market, but gaming card enthusiasts are probably going to live more commonly in a comic shop than they are in the sports card shop. And listen, it all can cross over, but just as a general rule, most gaming happens in a gaming shop or a comic shop, right?
Correct.
So they're going to be used to that label. If they're going to get into grading cards, it's going to be like CBCS was when they opened. Is a new group of fans that are thinking it's easy, it's new, and they're maybe going to go into it. I don't think you're going to get the hardcore collectors and the big time investors for a while.
And you can't even play, like, that's the other thing. Like, I think about playability too. Like, I highly doubt people grade cards and try to play them in tournaments, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to shuffle a deck. You can't shuffle a deck if you have like one graded card and the rest are raw cards. But I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know too much about the whole gaming market and how it goes.
PSA and Beckett have been grading gaming cards from the get-go. I mean, it's going to be hard for them to break into this, but what Sacto Sanctorum said is very interesting, because if they slash their price point to get in the market, then
they look to be $8 a pop was the standard kind of.
That's
price.
Not going to help them. That's what PSA does.
What's the turnaround time? That's the other problem.
Not $8 anymore. You can't get $8.
Really?
No, what is it?
Nope. Well, for
is it 12?
Anything 2017 and newer, even on the bulk service now, it's $15.
Oh.
For not on a bulk service, it's $20.
And it's taking forever to get cards back too, right, boys? I mean,
maybe why they're chiming in is the card market is flooded.
PSA is, I mean, they've got. I can't imagine how many orders they've got. The faster services, they're getting back quick and on time. The slower service, the bulk services. I sent a 25 card. I sent it with an express order a month ago. I've already gotten the express order graded and back to me. They still have not even logged as received on the bulk service, and that was a month. So I've already had those other cards back for almost a month, and they still haven't even logged them as received.
I know a local shop here was saying it's 6-7 months right now.
Wow.
How much did it cost for the express service, Stein?
Those were $75 a card.
Cool.
That was I think it was a 10 business day turnaround. I actually got them back in 10 days, but yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think probably CBCS being owned by Beckett kind of made them almost had to do it just out of spite.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they just basically took their comic label and put it and tried to shrink it down.
Yeah.
It looks no different at all than that. But
I honestly wish they would have shrunk the CGC Universal grade line down a bit. It looks almost too big.
Yeah.
I don't even know the point. What's the point of even having that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
they were used to it.
I get. And is trim just restored? Are you new purple labels and signed or yellow labels? I wonder how that.
It'll be interesting. I mean, it announced today, so I don't know that there's a ton of info ready. I kind of did a quick peruse, but I couldn't get a ton out of it. They are listing it like it is blended into the comic page now.
So charging $30 for express and a 10-day turnaround supposedly.
Thanks, JJ Maxwell.
Yep.
I think it's 75. I have checked to make sure, but I think it's 75 for express.
So I don't know. I don't know that we can assume a lot right now, but I think it will be interesting to watch.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I don't care if it's easy to read from a distance. I mean, nobody has a wall like, at a card show, right? Sign. I mean, nobody has walls like comics, right? They just throw them in a.
Yeah, most of the time, like at card shows, it's going to be showcases that are sitting on the table.
Yeah.
Some people have like little kind of stair step displays.
But it's at the table. It's not like behind them 20 feet like comics.
No, it's not like comics. You're not going to have a big wall of cards where you can't really see what they are in general.
And those express label quick 10-day turnarounds are for the guys that pull the 101s or the Zions or something that they need to get through fast. So
Shrouds.
That you want back. You're going to pay that extra to get it back so you can get it back, move it out.
Yes. And buy your next 100 boxes of shit.
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, the two that I sent in were two Zions, and I wanted them back before the NBA season started back, because I knew if something happened, it was worth it for me on those two to spend the extra $50 because it was going to cost me $20 no matter what. So it was worth it to me to spend an extra $50 per card to get them back in 2 weeks, rather than, and that way when the NBA season starts, I can kind of gauge whether or not I want to move them then, or just hold on to them until next year.
Yeah. All right. So
real quick, Flip says, is Beckett pretty much the CGC of cards? No, I'd say PSA is the CGC of cards.
Yes, Beckett, which is really weird because Beckett owns CBCS, and Beckett is basically the CBCS of cards.
And so it's funny because their trajectory was almost the same when Beckett first started, like really grading, like getting into it. They had that cheesy grading company that came out first that was nothing. I don't know the history of that, but when they started doing their real grading, a lot of people say that they grade to a higher standard, just like people say at CBCS.
So way back when Beckett started, they were the first ones to have the four categories of grading, and they were back then PSA. You could get 10s on cards that had surface flaws, that might have like a little tiny scratch or a little dimple or something like that. That was back then. Beckett, when they started up, they would look at those if they saw a surface scratch, and they would give the surface like a 6 or something way low, which would mean like the maximum you could get on the card would be like an 8. So old label Beckett cards, they were very, very strict on their grading. Over the years, they've gotten less strict, and so initially, if you got a really high grade on a Beckett card, you could get a premium over a PSA back in the day. Now, because Beckett, either they didn't, most people stopped sending cards to them because they were getting lower grades. So the majority of cards were getting sent to PSA. So Beckett decided, I guess they must have made the decision to not grade the surfaces as harshly. So now, and it's really still, so Beckett, the secondary market for Beckett cards is lower now than it is for PSA. So it's kind of weird. I mean, it was a weird transition of that. And now PSA will kill you on a surface. So if you get a dimple or a scratch or something like that, they're gonna hit you hard, kind of like Beckett used to do when they first started. So kind of weird. If any of that makes sense.
No, I got you. I get it. It's an interesting reversal of the world on that.
Yeah, I think in general, everybody kind of assumed when CBCS started out that if you sent them a book and it was a 9.8, it was a hard 9.8. It was a solid 9.8. If it was a 9.6, most people thought you could pretty much crack it and send it to CGC and get a 9.8. Now I don't think that's the case, and I think initially CBCS and Beckett had the same philosophy of grade hard, and people will like what the final product is, but people will end up getting frustrated with the lower grades and not sending the books to them or the cards, I think is what happened.
All right. I'm gonna kick us out of cards because we've probably lost a third of the audience now. Just kidding.
You lost me. Anyway,
but the other news of the week that I don't know struck out to me. There's several, but lots of rumors again on Zatanna and a potential movie. So this image is from Boss Logic. What's the girl's name? This one's after
Alexander Daddario.
So the rumors kind of kicked around a few different times. There's Justice League Dark rumors. There was, a Zatanna rumor popped up, maybe 2 years ago again. And so there's another one going. Did you say, Deno, or not Deno, Nico, who had this rumor kind of most recently?
Daniel RPK.
So he's saying it's this and a Batman Beyond are his things, and he seems to be a pretty solid predictor of what's going on. There's the DC, instead of SDCC, they're having their own DC Fandom Online con next month in August, so potentially some confirmations or some insights will come there. So it could be interesting as to.
That's going to be online only.
Well, I don't think they're having anything live, so I think it's an online event.
Yeah, and there's 2 films that will absolutely be announced there. The way that they sort of deduced that is somebody screwed up on one of their internal pages, and it's like movie 1, movie 2. And, so now we know we're going to get 2 films. We talked a little bit about this before the show. The thought is that there will be a Constantine television show that will accompany or be announced. And then also there's been rumors that if the Justice League Snyder Cut is well received, that they'll consider doing another Justice League film. So,
Wow.
When does that come out?
Next year, right? 2021.
Yeah, I think there's still some cuts going on that.
They're
Yeah,
filming new scenes. Batfleck is going to be filming new scenes.
It's
New
crazy.
scenes?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Well, that's going to take a few months for him to get back into shape, for love of God.
Wow.
Just throw him in the suit, man.
I guess. I mean, yeah, but he was pretty buffed up for that role.
Yeah, he supposedly he signed an extra, signed a little extra thing to go back and film new scenes. Like, they're really getting into this, man. And I love it.
Well, if you got a shot to kind of redo it, man, they're doing the Marvel theory of changing time, man. They're going back and stealing the Infinity Stones and trying to fix it.
Do you hear people are calling for the real Schumacher cut now?
Oh God, I think that's a little
Is
late.
there a real Schumacher cut?
yeah, apparently the film initially was like
Much different. Yeah.
dark. Like,
Oh,
you know,
I thought you were going to say it was the opening credits and then the end credits.
yeah, I think, instead of it being like the rise of the Penguin, I think they actually had like other sort of background scenes that were cut, and it was much less of a children's film that was tongue in cheek, and who knows.
A Dark Walking. Oh God. So a couple books. I mean, you could go deep on the Zatanna spec. Obviously, first appearance, Hawkman 4. Terrible that she's not on the cover. The cover is actually okay. If it's a Hawkman cover, it's a fine cover. But it's not got her on it.
If Zatanna was on that cover,
Lights out.
Yes.
it would be triple the price.
Yep.
Absolutely, 100%. Her first cover is actually just a little circle cutout in Atom number 9. Also, not a great cover, so
that saves this book, right? That the next 3 covers sucked.
yeah. So we were talking about it. The first real cover that she kind of becomes something interesting is this DC Superstars 11. Tough book to get in high grade. It's a thick. I don't know. Is that I can't remember how many pages. One of the giants.
52 398s.
Yeah. And maybe we know somebody that had one. Has one.
Yeah, I had one. I sold it. Way
Oh,
too early.
son of a gun. I
You
should
had a
have.
9.8.
Yep.
I love
I
these
know.
fishnets.
What'd you get?
I bought my 9.8. It was already 9.8, so I bought it for like I'll tell people I don't have it anymore. Or we don't have it anymore. I bought it for like $300.
Oh my God.
What'd you get out of it?
I think I sold on auction for like I don't know $500 or $600. I think.
Oh,
I
yeah,
should have bought it.
Oh.
But the problem was, dude, is like I had it for like $3,000 forever, like ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm waiting for this rumor to happen, waiting for this rumor, and it never happened. I'm like, dude, I'm moving it.
I think you tried to move it to me at 9, and I'm like, it would be in at like 7, but I wasn't going to push it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a couple others. There's a whole Hughes run. I'm not going to show those all. One more is this the Boland variant for number 5.
Yep.
It's kind of one that's picked up some steam. I remember Tony picking a couple of these up.
Yep.
Probably 4 years ago.
Yep.
Hey, am I gonna be the only one to say that this one is good as a good bowling cover because it doesn't show her full face? Like,
Maybe.
Yeah.
the other ones he has of her are terrible because she has her whole face.
Yeah. I don't know.
I love the black lipstick.
I mean, and do we? Okay, so if Alexandra Daddario actually does it, do you think she's actually going to pull it off and do a good job?
Yeah.
I think
What else has she been in?
they will cast somebody that is a strong actress versus just somebody they want to look the part. I tell you, because they need a hit. DC needs something to freaking hit. So
I got a lot of hope for that film. I think DC's hit a real stride after Watchmen. The decision to release the Snyder Cut, go back and spend some money was smart. Joker was a big hit. People can say it's not a Batman film, Bryan, and that it was written for another purpose, but it's still, an Academy Award winning film. I mean, they know what they're doing. They finally have kind of figured out how to make movies again after The Dark Knight. It was kind of like a downward spiral, but
did you see? Has anybody seen Birds of Prey?
No.
It was horrible. Yeah.
Was it because critically it was?
My women that I'm friends with that are not comic book people loved it. For me, it was like
I haven't seen it, so I would like.
It just hit that perfectly ugly spot of like, we're gonna be R-rated, but like we're not gonna be edgy. We're just gonna be like, I'm gonna drop an F-bomb because I'm cool, and I was just like, this is horrific. It was like a dumpster fire. Watch it, see what you think.
It wasn't written for us, guys.
So
yeah.
So would you used to say wait for it to come out on Netflix or some DC streaming app or whatever it is?
I would say your wife will enjoy it, and you will be tragically disappointed. And
Seems like Last of Us 2. Oh, I just played that and it was terrible.
Was it?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yes. Terrible.
this chick is a lock. How is this chick not gonna? I mean, if the rumors are that she's gonna play this role, she's a lock, right? And look at that! Look at that picture right there.
It's been the fan choice. Is basically what it. But that's been for like two or 3 years. I mean, I think that Boss Logic picture. I think he drew that in like 2017 or something like that.
thank you, man. Yeah.
What was it? Boss Logic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
He does a hell of a job of reading the
I already
zeitgeist.
have it, Brian. Oh, you're gonna look for the date.
Oh, you already got it.
All right, we had it up.
Okay, good.
This
Yeah,
one.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that's clean. Yeah, she's in, man. I like that.
It's her eyes. I mean, honestly,
It's her eyes.
It's her eyes. I mean, she has like those glass eyes that. Yeah.
Game over. Yep.
So
That's
the other movie news that dropped today, and let's see if I got all of it, was Marvel. I must not have got the one. There was a Instagram post from them about Scarlet.
These are kind of like robbed slides stolen from the dark web.
But there was an Instagram post saying that Scarlett Jo was happy to see the
franchise
live on, and there was some kind of deleted scene about a grave, and so kind of a lot of stuff pointing to that Yelena will be kind of a standing long-term character.
Sorry, that was me. I just put it in there. I didn't size it right. My bad.
Yeah, I think
I like that.
I think I read that like the people at Marvel kind of just said they were so impressed with her. They just loved her, and so they're based on how much they loved her. That's why they want to continue with her.
Well, you really can't do a lot going forward with Scarlett as they killed her,
Yeah, and these images are from Empire Magazine. It's a forthcoming article about the film. They were released in like a small little GIF on Twitter, and then the images have leaked thereafter. They're everywhere now.
And then, so I mean, and I brought that up because there's an article or articles is saying that this got delayed indefinitely due to COVID. So,
well, they're not going to let it. I don't think they're going to take it to streaming if they can at all avoid it. they want it to be a theatrical release.
Yeah, I mean, it got pushed back to November, right? November 2nd or something.
I mean,
like
that's
that.
what they said, I guess, and
I mean,
that's what Nico told me.
They'll wait until they're going to get an audience.
Yeah, November, I looked, is still the release date on Marvel.com, but I don't think that people have a lot of confidence necessarily in the release date of any film. They're continuing to talk about the new Christopher Nolan film as kind of the benchmark because it's so expensive and so anticipated. Whenever Tenet actually drops, it's like these other blockbuster films will get in line behind it. But they're going to use it to sort of like weight, Hollywood back into kind of like a cemented spot in popular culture, and hope that people will follow suit. If they're willing to go to Tenet, they'll be willing to go to other films.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they just space people out, I'd go.
Yeah, but the issue is they can't break a blockbuster type movie if they have to space you out that much.
If there's fewer movies, they can just put it on more screens. Basically, if it's kind of just Black Widow, they could almost use the entire theater.
Right. I think you're onto something there, Ben. It seems like that may be the only solution that kind of makes sense. Is we get transported into the past. You remember when you were a little kid and there was like one, maybe two movies that released a week, as opposed to a half a dozen.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what we're going to see in the short term. And, frankly, we may get better quality products that way. I think a lot of people's dissatisfaction with Hollywood is that, just a lot of trash movies get made, big budgets, explosions, people go watch them, they're unsatisfied. And, films lack the charm of, say, a Superman 1, right, with Christopher Reeves, or The Gremlins, or
I think the marquee movies, like, we'll see more marquee movies go to the theater, and then all the other ones go to streaming apps. I mean, they've proven that they don't need the theaters for people to watch them; they'll just go to streaming apps. So the things they don't think are going to do well, perform well, or losers will go to the streaming app and just totally avoid the whole.
Well, but here's the thing: what's the incentive for the theaters to run the same movie if they can only put in a fifth of the audience?
But if you do it
higher ticket prices, higher concessions, they're going to have to make it up.
So at what price point are you going to not go?
I don't know. Right now, pre-COVID.
Now it's too expensive now.
Pre-COVID seats were what, $20 probably. There was like the nice seats and at a nice theater and stuff like that, $20-$25 a seat.
Yeah, and I got to take kids and all that stuff because if it's a Marvel movie, my kids want to see it.
Well, I'm in
$200.
If you have 12 theaters inside of a theater, right, or 12 rooms, 6 of them could be the
luxury theaters.
Say Black Widow comes out, right? You're gonna have 6 theaters that say it's 50% or whatever the ratio is now. 6 theaters are 3 full theaters, right?
Locally we've got like an AMC, massive one that's got the IMAX and everything. Yep. But then in the town right next to it is a small AMC, and those tickets are like you can go to a matinee for like $4, even for first opening weekend.
Yep.
And even on the evening shows, they're only like $7.
Well, and remember how many theaters are empty, right? Like how many times have you gone to a movie when it wasn't opening day or whatever? Right. And you go in, and it's like, sweet, got the whole theater to myself.
Well, half these companies aren't even going to make it. Half of them are trying to file for bankruptcy.
Well, not only that, there's some problems going on behind the scenes, especially with AMC and Paramount right now, because of the movie theaters Paramount basically already did it. Paramount decided that they weren't going to spend. I think it had something to do with windowing, and what's windowing is most of the big movies get most of their advertising and hype the way that the movie theaters present their posters and put out the little stand-ins and all that shit and put stuff all around the theater. And Paramount decided not to do that anymore and pulled that money from the budget and go straight to streaming. So AMC came back and said, if you're not going to do that, we're not going to play any of your movies in our theater. So now no Paramount movies are being played in AMC theaters. And at the same time, because Paramount pulled their money away from that windowing budget, all the distributors now are taking a big hit money-wise. So now they're having to – it's just a domino. So I don't see movie theaters lasting at all. Not just AMC, all of them.
Not the way it is. It's gonna be like a niche, like premium experience.
Yes. It's sad.
They won't lose the older crowd. Like my grandfather, when he was alive, he would go to like the 10 a.m. show because nobody was there, and he would do it every Sunday or Saturday. I mean, those people
don't make any money on those though.
Well, yeah, I mean, are you basically saying that everybody's just going to pay for the movie to watch it in their house?
No, you'll have select movie theaters, almost like the Alamo Draft House, where they're more like events, and people will go see things there. But most people will watch it in their house. The people that want to see it in a big event, they'll go to the Alamo Draft House or the Steak and Movie.
It's like UFC, man. Like UFC, right? People either go to B-Dubs to watch it, where they can, they don't have to pay for it, or you pay to. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say, "I'll pay $20 to sit in my house and watch it. I can go to the bathroom when I want. I can pause it. I can do whatever I want."
If it's a movie, though, it's not gonna be this where you stream it for $14.99. It's gonna be way more expensive than that.
No, it's not. They do well at that price point.
No, if there's no theater income, I mean none. Like every movie theater is shut down. There's no way that they're not gonna make $1 billion on a Disney movie by streaming for $15 a piece at home, because that family of 4 just paid for $15.99 that they invited their friends over. Now there's 8 people watching that one movie for $15. There's no chance of that. None. There will never be $1 billion movie again.
No, there may not be $1 billion movie again. It's the way we look at it's gonna change, and they're gonna lose. They're gonna cost less to advertise some of it. They're gonna cost less to do all these things. I don't know. I think the whole thing is gonna get real interesting. So
yeah, it could get scary though, because you got to remember the movie business has always been a big, huge locomotive that all moves together, and now they're fracturing, and you're gonna see.
It's like wrestling, dude. Wrestling was all about stadiums and attendance and stuff like that, and all these pay-per-views were getting, and then they released the network, like a streaming service, and everybody stopped going to the events and just streamed it on there. And, pay-per-view buys were, are down because people just buy it on a network for $12 a month or $15 a month. It's going to restructure everything. I mean, I could see it even doing the whole thing where it comes to contracts, like, like Mission Impossible 6. Are you really going to pay Tom Cruise $100 million to be in a movie that everybody can see for $15 now or $20 instead of breaking world records in the box office and stuff? I mean,
and then have to pay $20 more million just to insure it because he's a fucking nut job.
So I see people saying, "Oh, Trolls was one of the ones that they released for $20." Yeah. Trolls made $4 million. $4 million. That's it. So yeah, there's not gonna be any of this. It's not going to be any of this, hey, we're just going to put it all online and people are going to pay it, and they're going to, because these actors they're not going to take a 80% pay cut. The studios are all these Marvel movies, all these Star Wars movies. Nope, forget that. We're not having a $250 million budget. You get a $30 million budget, and that's it. Then movies, it's.
I don't think you can sell 250 million views of I got the calculator out. That's what I was doing. Of a movie on demand.
No. 250 million?
Can I name one?
What was that?
250 million or 25 million?
No. 250 million.
Here's the thing. I don't think the movie.
You think you can sell 25 million?
No, because there's the 80% of that is going to be American, and you've got 330 million Americans, and that's it. So you figure the average household has 4. You're only talking 8 million.
Okay, so well, let's talk about this too. So like Stranger Things, and this is series. Let's go to series and stuff like this. So Stranger Things and everything else, those are the most watched, fastest watched things on Netflix, right? Stranger Things and stuff like that. So you got to think, right? When it comes to $250 billion things, right? That's every weekend, right? Blah 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 blah. You're only going to make a movie, 1 weekend. Once it drops on a network and everyone watches that weekend, how many people are going to either rewatch it or watch it again after they've seen it? Nobody's going to pay $20.
Without belaboring a beat point on this, okay? I was trying to show just how much money they could make. They're obvious when you gross $1 billion because of the amount of overhead and royalties and working with theaters as opposed to streaming companies, which I assume would be cheaper. Can we all agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
At least initially.
Yes.
So 25 million. We think we could do that. 25 million clicks at $25 a piece.
I mean, if it's a big enough movie, it could be.
Not at $25 a piece.
I think.
Well, if you can, that's $625 million gross. With the lower overhead, that might be about the same amount of profit. I think if they thought they could do it already, they'd be doing it, and you'd have already seen, Black Widow.
I know personally, if a movie goes straight to streaming and they're going to charge $20, me personally, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait a month and I'll watch it on HBO for free. I'm not going to pay $20.
But
I've never bought a movie online ever.
I think what's going to happen is there's going to become premium streaming networks, or networks are going to pay a premium price for it.
Amazon already does it, right? Like you can watch movies right now that are at the theater.
And YouTube TV, YouTube
TV
TV just cranked up their price from it was like $20 a month to $65. So I mean,
Disney is not going to be $15 a month.
I can't honestly. Let's talk about this, boys. I was talking about it with the wife. I can't believe Netflix is still $15 a month. I mean,
Netflix is done, dude. They just paid $100 million or something like that to a charity, and they're paying all these people $20-30 million. Where do they get to have this money? They don't have any money to be spending it like that, man.
Well, they're just. It's weird. They're just in a cycle. It's like Tesla, right? They have money, but it's all in it's all in debt and all that stuff. I mean, they're making money on their debt because they
But they're not putting out a physical product too. Remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's move on.
Yep.
We're gonna zip through a few of these. Cool news came out this week. Aliens versus Predator. Or Aliens Predator got moved from Dark Horse to Marvel.
Interesting.
Could see that coming because Dark Horse is hurting. They haven't had a lot going on there.
That's part of the Fox acquisition.
Yes, because these were properties that were Fox properties. They've moved to the House of the Mouse, so why not put them under their own?
If you didn't see that, if you didn't see that coming, you shouldn't be specking on film properties with your hard-earned money. Okay, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, so I don't know that it means anything immediate with spec, but it'll probably be some cool crossovers. I don't think there's ever been a Marvel crossover for these. They were mostly DC stuff. I think there were some maybe some other smaller publisher items, but I've not seen a Marvel crossover yet.
With I guess, do they own the movie rights as well, Nico?
Yes.
So that'll be interesting because Disney's all PG-13, right? Are you going to really do an Aliens Predator movie PG-13? I mean,
they're doing more R-rated shit.
There's going to be a separate imprint.
Okay, I was like, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because Deadpool's going to be Deadpool 3.
But my issue is not the TV show. How are we going to get the Geiger art? Someone's skull getting torn apart.
Yeah, Disney's going to do that.
I think they're going to eventually. I mean, honestly, if you look at what the way Disney is moving, they're going to have separate branches. They're going to have kind of like back in the day. There was sub branches of main movie studios. Disney's going to have like a Vertigo, type, more edgy.
Yeah, they like money too much.
Yeah, they've moved away from that now. if you talk their cartoons, that's one thing. But when it comes to their properties, I mean, they own so many different things now that they don't even care anymore. They're just printing money, so they're not going to care.
And I think this is really, I mean, they're going to, who knows what they're going to do with the movie franchises. I think we'll see some comic stuff first, because Disney likes to test things via comics.
Yeah.
They like to see what works and what doesn't. It's inexpensive. They'll hire some people to work on it, and we'll see a few things happen. I don't know what's going to come first, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 6 months something happens. So it would be, Nico, you wanted to do something in the comments. This might be an interesting one to throw out there. Do you already have an idea?
No. Sounds great.
Do you like that one? Or did you have another plan?
Yeah. No, I got no plan. It's your plan.
No, you got a plan.
Yeah, you want to tell them? I'll show them the book.
Yeah, show them the book.
All right. So, long story short, back in the day when I first started writing about comics again, I basically came up with the same spec play as Topher. And mine was back in CGC boards, and I don't know when the hell he came up with it, but we both basically wrote about it on separate websites, incidentally, within like weeks of one another. And the book kind of languished. It was like a $60 book. Well, now it's so I saw in a chat, somebody was like, "Oh, what kind of books are you selling?" And the guy sent like a screenshot, and there was a sale of this for like $150, and my head almost popped off. And I was like, "Oh, it's finally starting to move up." And I was like, "That's a crazy price." And another person was like, "Well, I sold one this week for like $175. And anyway, so here she goes.
Oh, the second print.
Second print. I don't think you can buy one for less than $200.
What?
John, you want to tell them how they can win it?
So this is not a live chat contest. This is in the comments once the video is posted. So once we roll tomorrow morning and it's actually live on YouTube, please leave a comment. And what do you want to see Aliens, Predators crossover with? What is your storyline you want to pitch? Who are they gonna? Who's gonna deal with it? It's gonna be Spider-Man. It's gonna be Avengers. What Marvel property do we want to see these two new entities into the Marvel world crossover with?
Can I throw out a suggestion?
Yes.
The Punisher.
Well,
let's also
who's going to judge the contest? Are we going to all 5 vote?
Yes.
And we also should have them share that post, out, or share that post out, whatever, saying
yes
on the Flipside Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the record, I didn't forget about you. I'm sorry, you're going out in the mail today. I apologize.
The Colonel. Yeah,
the Colonel, man.
Please forgive me.
Again, we want to see the comments in the real comments after the video post on the live chat. We do enjoy reading them in the live chat, but to be entered, you'll have to drop it in the comments after this video goes. So,
Nico, is that really a $150 book?
Yeah, no, it's more than that.
It's $200.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta go out to my short boxes and find my copy.
I know. I had an extra one, not in my personal collection, and I was like, "That's a good story. It's about my it's like part of my CBSI origin story, my Flipside origin story." So I was like, fuck it, let's just let it roll."
What'd you buy it for?
We just want whatever one makes us the most amused is what we're probably going to go with, because we're simple creatures and we like to be amused. So it can be serious, it can be amusing.
And you have to be a subscriber.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at all these.
Make that
There we go.
All right. So
That's a nice giveaway, Nico.
Nico will do a post on the IG, share it out, so let your friends know, and let's have some fun with this. So
very nice.
A couple other just movie things. Boys Season 2 releases in September 4th. We may see an uptick in those books again, because that was a killer thing. I think we'll hit more on that in another couple weeks.
Did you guys see the boys? I can't remember who put it out. It might have been, I can't remember who did it, but they did a 4th of July cover.
Yeah, that thing's nuts.
56 copies, $250 was the buy-in.
Oh,
It's a great looking cover, but I mean,
250. Ooh.
yeah, $250 buy-in.
Yeah, people are selling it for crazy amounts. They're calling it the next AOC variant or whatever. You know, these super short prints.
Yeah.
Like the no heroin foil or metal cover. I like Homelander's character and the way he's portrayed.
That
But
actor kicks ass.
yeah, but I still don't know if I could like pay $250 for that book. What I'll tell you, what I could definitely not do is pay the $25 million price tag that people are asking for it now. I'll be interested in seeing what those sales go.
Yeah, we'll see. So we'll keep an eye on that one. I did see that posting. That's kind of what made me think about it. Warrior Nun hit Netflix.
It was good.
Nico, I haven't had a chance to watch it, but it looked interesting from the trailer.
That's
All right,
what it
now,
looked like to me.
Full disclosure, I grew up in a Catholic preschool, Catholic elementary school. I taught at a Catholic university, at a Jesuit university.
Yep.
Okay. Like I wasn't confirmed, but like, you know,
Us private school kids.
I know what to
You
say
were
when I go to
confirmed,
Catholic church. You know what I mean? Like I know all the refrains. So it may have been like a little nostalgia on my part. I don't know. But the young lady that plays Ava is beautiful, and it's likable. And comparing it to the dumpster fires that are V Wars and October Faction, it's a win. So.
Hey, it's 80% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, so
Hey, look at this.
that's not
Shout
bad.
Shout out
Woo!
Robert Ford.
$4,
Oh,
man.
Open
first
up
super
a
chat
super
from
chat.
somebody who doesn't belong to the actual channel as it's playing. Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
That's a good solid recommendation too.
Yeah, Robert Fordham might have just bought the Hawkeye 9 variant for $4.
Hey, make sure you go follow Fordham on his Instagram page.
Yeah, learn from the master.
I do want to back that up because if you had nostalgia, I went to Catholic school too, so I know Stations of the Cross and all that great
Right.
stuff. If it brings back memories, I might have to give it a go. So
I have a friend who his daughter was a disaster, right? Like she was just always running around doing God knows what out until the middle of the night. And I remember he was like, so and so came home last night. It was basically this morning. It was like 5 a.m. And I was like, oh, well, I'm sure. He's like, what do you think, George? She was praying the Stations of the Cross. This isn't a good sign. And to this day, anytime anybody mentions the Stations of the Cross, I just remember the intensity of horror on his face. That's what a Catholic upbringing will do to you, for the record.
Maxwell posted the one that it came in just a few minutes or just before we went on the show. One that I was going to throw out there is Stargirl got renewed for season 2 on the CW.
That's a big deal.
And if you've not been watching it, I'm watching it with 2 of my 3 kids. One's being a dingleberry and doesn't want to watch it, but my 2 younger kids are loving it. Like they like the Flash. They are loving Stargirl. So it is clicking with the young audience. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It is a fun show. So if you've not checked it out, please do. So
Where do they do they rerun those on anything or like on
it's
Amazon
on
Prime or anything?
I think it's on CW, which you could do through the CW app, which I think is free. I watch it on DC Universe just because I freaking paid for that before they decided to break it apart. So, and Doom Patrol's up too, which is on HBO Max and the DC platform. So, if you like watching Brandon Fraser say the F word 100 times during an episode, that's your show. So.
All right.
What else we got?
Moving right along.
Where are we at now? We want to talk to market report stuff. Some future things that Nico wants to talk about.
You want to? All right, we'll try to run through them quick.
All right, I got to take a
There's
quick
just so
break.
much
I'll
to
be
do.
right back.
yeah, I got you.
Somebody's got. Yeah.
Hey, while Z is running away, if any, I like to see people guess where I am right now. You like my background, but tell me where I am. I'm at a place that was it's a famous movie scene. So you know where I'm at. Shoot me in the shoot comments or whatever, just for a little fun.
All right.
Yeah, I
Let's
can't
do
see
this.
anything.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. Which one we going with?
Wherever you're at.
Bada boom.
All right, Death Rattle. We've all seen these Crow books take off. This is the Lost Crow Pages. It's a 1999 book. You can get a real high grade copy for like $30. They're dirt cheap. I think it's a solid spec play. There's a lot of nostalgia surrounding the Crow, not just from Jon Z and myself, but for a second there, you couldn't even buy a copy of the first issue online. Yeah, so I think this is kind of a cheap, smart buy-in. I wasn't real familiar with this book, and appreciate a friend teaching me about it. Thank you, sir.
Is that an actual book, or is that just?
No, it's an actual book.
It's like a story, or is it just taking just the pages from?
Yeah, so it's not like an original. It's not like Death Rattle is all about the Crow. They just publish the slides that we have listed in here in that story.
Yeah, it's like an anthology type thing.
Okay.
Death Rattle's a great series. Yeah, it was a great series back then. All right.
James O'Barr, goodness, gotta love it.
Yep.
I think this Cataclysm stuff is really interesting. There's the Ultimates Last Stand 1 in 30 variant, the Cataclysm Spider-Man Miles Morales 1 in 30 variant, and then the Last Stand 3 1 in 50 that kind of stand out as the ratios. The reason that I am kind of interested in these books, we've seen all of these characters kind of take off here recently. So obviously everybody's familiar with the Miles stuff. This centers around Reed Richards and hold on, go back. We'll get to Valeria in a second. Centers around Reed Richards, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, and the move from the Ultimate Universe into mainstream Marvel. Basically, you've got, it's kind of like the sequel to the Hunger series. Galactus gets thrown into the Ultimate Universe, and then the heroes have to deal with it. This is, kind of a multiverse of madness scenario that I think whether or not Marvel actually uses it, 5-10 years down the line or whatever for the films, you're going to see readers of these series from back in the day have increased nostalgia around as we see these characters roll out onto the silver screen. So you can buy them at Ratio. Those are the kind of books that I would think about picking up at Ratio, slabbing, sticking in a box, particularly if you think you can grab a 9.8 at Ratio.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think somebody figured it out.
but
I was blocking the giveaway, but yeah. So every week I'm gonna switch my my background. It's gonna be where in the world am I? So it'll be you guys can guess. I'll make it harder next time.
yeah, the last one is kind of a Valeria Doom, right? So her first appearance in Fantastic Four 15 is a $1 book bin. Find you can just pull them out. I suggest grabbing stacks of those books out of dollar bins. I don't know that you're going to see it pop off like Hawkeye 9 second print, but I do think that she's got the potential to be introduced as a member of the FF family on the big screen. And regardless of whether or not she is actually introduced on the big screen, when the FF comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, people are going to start to explore these secondary characters. She was integral to the Hickman Secret Wars run. So I kind of like it as sort of a dollar bin book.
She's a great character. Great character, man. She plays so well off of Franklin's character, and those two characters are both great characters that need to be explored more.
Yeah, the only difference is the first appearance of Franklin Richards will run you about $850 for an 8.5.
Well, yep. I hope soon I have an interesting story with that book to share. So we'll see. Shipping from God knows where and why.
Let's get into this craziness.
All right, so we're going to the sales data from the week. This one, Nico maybe showed one not too long ago. His had a purple label instead of the blue, but we'll take it at this frickin' book. CGC 3.0 Mass Comics 1, an LB Cole masterpiece. Census data, 59 of them total, 49 blues. Highest blue label is a 7.5.
What is yours, Nico?
I don't know. Is that terrible?
Maybe. Interesting.
I got problems.
An interesting fact I did not know, but as I was looking at the data on this, the Mile High copy for this book is a purple label.
Wow.
It's sold once as a 9.4 and once as a 9.6. Purple.
Is this a good sale or a bad sale?
This is so.
Depends on if you're the buyer or the seller.
Depends what we're looking at. A 3.0 sold in 2017 for just under $1,100. 2018, same grade, 11,422. So now we're 2020, 8,000 and change. Probably a little bit of supply demand in that a few more copies have shown up than there were before. When a book kind of raises to this kind of profile, more copies come out of the woodwork. So there's a little bit more options for buyers than before. Some other sales were a 4.5 sold in 2020 May, so not very long ago, for 16.8. So I think it's a deal. I wouldn't be mad if I bought it at that price. So it's down a little from the high, but I still think it's probably a good buy. This is a nice looking copy too.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing how many days it was up because I didn't see it. And I watch a lot of auctions, and I just saw after the fact that it had sold. I don't know if it was like a 48-hour power hour, threw it up on a Friday, let it rip. 4th of July, obviously a bad time to sell books, but
yes, they probably lost a little money on it, but and a 5.5 sold for $24K. So it's a monster book. I think that's a good. If I bought it, I'd be happy.
Oh.
This next one is I have no idea where you found this one. This true. I didn't load the other one. Jesus, I forgot. We were talking so much. This series is known for the issue 23, which if you've not seen it is a girl holding a necklace going, what do I have to do for that? It's a fairly infamous cover. It's yellow with a good girl look. Nico stumbled upon this sale, which of a book that, if you look, MCS doesn't even have a picture of. I can't find any sales data on the dang thing. There's 4 in the census, 4.5 being the highest, and one of them's restored. I don't know, being Charlton, if it's rare because nobody's looking for it or if it's rare because it's Charlton and just nobody cared. But this is a book you might be able to kind of go out into, not all the bins, but if you got a shop with some back bins and some serious stuff, or a dealer that kind of goes to shows and hasn't been out in a while and happens to have a Charlton box, I'm going to go looking for it. I think it's a sequel to it because if you look, this guy's kind of manhandling this woman going, what did you do for that necklace? So it feels like a follow-up cover of all things.
Dude, I think there's an emerging market for those kinds of like domestic violence of the 1950s covers as much as there is a market for, like books with swastikas or racial, negativity or stereotypes or whatever. I mean, they are anachronisms of the past where this kind of stuff was apparently acceptable in ways that I can't really like intuitively understand. There's the other cover.
Yeah, I think that's a sequel to that cover, I believe.
Yeah, and they're out there though. Is my point. Like people don't know about them. You gotta look at those romance covers.
23 has been a hot book for several years, many years, but I have never seen this 25. I don't even know how you stumbled upon it. So,
and this is actually I actually could read it. This is actually the whole.
Yeah. So this is one I don't know. It could just be scarce. It's a later print in the run, but man, I am betting one of you guys, if you dig in the right shop, can come across one. And for almost $700, holy smokes. So if you're looking to deep dive, Nico just freaking out rabbit holed me on this one. Congratulations, sir. We'll go to something a little more common not common, but a little more well-known. The Menace, number 5 from Atlas Comics.
Yep.
The first appearance of the Marvel Zombie. Census data, 54 on the census, which is surprisingly low. 8.5 at the highest, and then it goes down pretty quick after that. 48 blue, 3 of them are SS. Last sale on this grade was 2601, and that was about 9 months ago, so a little bit of appreciation in value.
Who would you get an SS on this book? Stan Lee?
Probably. I think he was involved in this one, actually.
Absolutely was.
So there's some Stan ones. But that tells you there aren't very, very many copies out there if only 3 people got Stan to sign it. Because I heard.
You know what Stan did? He hit it right across where the zombie is, just right on top.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the middle.
One interesting thing with this book, this is the highest graded sale. These two 6.0s, the one in 19 and the one now, and I didn't look close enough to see if it was the same book or not. Highest graded copy available in a GPA sale. We all know there's places that aren't GPA, but since 2010 there was a 6.5. So 10 years to get something higher. And the 7.5, which is the second highest graded, hasn't sold since 04. Wow. So this book does not trade hands a lot.
Yeah, it's a ghost. In high grade, good grief.
Yeah, honestly, whoever bought this, I think we'll look back and go, holy shit, that was a score.
Yeah, congratulations.
We weren't looking, and if I would have done the research speculatively looking at this one, I'd been happy, and I would have been, oh, that's a good deal. Next book, Superboy 68, first Bizarro. This is a CBCS 5.0, nice looking 5.0. So that always skews the numbers, but the CGC census is 538, a 9.2 loan at the top, a couple 9.0s also there. This book has been hot several different times. There have been some movie rumors, all kinds of things going. It's just been a book that people always kind of have wanted. I don't know, almost 10 years ago, this was kind of one that speckers were always looking at. So it's had some ebbs and flows.
I love Bizarro's character in general.
This is a book in low grade that's common, but in high grade, very tough to find.
Yeah, and I think there's a prospect on that cover, don't you? CBCS 5.0. Who knows what it looks like? I'd like to see it.
That's old label CBCS.
Yes, there could be some upscale.
Ben saw what I was picking up, or picked up what I was putting down. Yeah.
So I'm going to throw these numbers out there. In 12 of 18 was the high sale. December of 2018, the high sale for a 5.0, 1550. The 2018 average was 1161. The 2019 average was 892, so a little under 900. In January, CGC sold for 677. So this book was trending significantly down. If you bought in 2 years ago, you're taking a beating. I do think this is what a little bit of what Nico said played in. Is this is a nice looking copy that somebody's going to try and upgrade.
And for since they have the population report, they got 70 CBCSs. The top score is a 7.5, and at 5.0, there's only 3. So
Okay.
but
Yeah.
there's a lot of between 7.5 and 5, like 4, 3, 1, 4, 3. I mean,
Yeah,
13
it's a
a lot
very
more.
heavy book in the sub 5.
Yep.
5's not a high enough grade to probably invest in my opinion. But if you can get that puppy to a 6, then you're kind of hitting the solid money.
Yes.
Another one that I wouldn't have looked at, but Nico happened to pick this guy up is this Thor 168. Oh, no, you shit. Did we jump one?
Nope.
I don't know.
I must not have put it up. Damn it.
That's okay. Tell them what it is.
Thor 168, Galactus cover. Sorry, I did not upload it apparently. It is the origin of Galactus. A
I might have one.
9.4 sold. The census 318 of them, 398s, 11 96s, and 26 94. So pretty rare and high grade. Galactus is hot. In March of 2019, a $343 sale. In January, 664. Now, almost 1,100. Or I'm sorry, a little over 1,100. $1,126. So Galactus has caused this book to jump. I mean, his kind of second set of stories is really in this Journey into Mystery run. So several have been there.
Here we go. This one.
Yes, a high grade copy is rare to find. Hold on, we'll put Nico. Oh,
I got you.
there you go.
Yeah, that guy.
Hi. Yeah. There's, I think, 2 or 3 of the Galactus covers in this section that are all really good. This is the origin issue. So, technical flub on that one, sorry. Now to the Hellboy. Hellboy, the Fury number 3. Extremely tough to find Magnolia variant. This one happens to be signed. Census data, 43 of them. 798s. A 98 has not sold in pushing 2 years, and at that time it was 570. I remember people talking about this book forever. It is kind of a ghost, and I don't think people that have it are letting it go very often. 96. Last sale was in March, was $923, and then there was a 94 at the end of 18 for 515. So not a lot of sales activity on this book. I don't see it come up very often. It's just kind of a tough book that Hellboy fans really, really want.
Yeah, $41 shipping.
Yeah, well,
I want to.
So basically, this sold for $7.
Yeah.
$6.50.
Oh, no, wait. Don't forget about if it's in a taxable state.
Yeah.
Right? You get banged for another like $60 on top
I
of
like
that.
to not think about that.
Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on the tax thing? I mean, is it? I mean,
It hurts.
I mean, as far as like value, I mean, because like GPA and stuff doesn't include that, but I mean, it is a big deal. I mean, especially when you start getting into $1,000 books. I mean, that significantly changes the value of what, or the cost of what you're actually spending.
Yeah, but you can't think about it because different states have different tax rates. You know,
But sometimes you can get hammered, dude. I've gotten hammered before.
You can. I'm just saying you can't put that in the GPA data because it's not a constant.
And I'm going to go back one because I uploaded it for you.
Mhm.
But there you go. Because, I got to keep this podcast smooth and running. So
I missed one of the 68 images. So
I know. It's fine. No, so that's our book before Thor 168 classic Kirby cover.
I feel like his cover looks better than mine. His cover.
Isn't that the one that Jon Z forgot to put on the show?
that's what it will forever be known as now. The Jon Z screwed up. Thanks, Paul. Rub it off. All right. What's the next one out there?
This book, Action Comics book.
Now I got to ask because I don't know what I put on there. This is a really nice Superman cover. It's listed as a historic atomic radiation cover. See the kind of the guys in the radiation suits. Census 46 of them, 37 blue only. Believe it or not, 2 at the top of the census at 9.4, but then it jumps down and you don't see anything again until like I think the 7s. So whoever the heck has those is amazing.
I still think it's amazing when people when we always say like all these old books and there's like a 9. I mean, there's file copies and stuff, but it's still amazing that you can see books in 9s and just. I mean, you have a fire like Marvel had fire stuff, or just somebody just dropped the book or something. It's amazing.
This is a nice looking 3.5 from the image. Honestly, looking at the data, I understand when Nico picked the book. It is actually right in line. There was a 3.0 sale in 18 for $675, and in 2020 there was a 4.0 sale for $900. So kind of right in line, but kind of to his point, keys, all kind of books are selling. I mean, it's a buyer's market. People are buying books. So, and it's a pretty cover I'd never actually looked at. So kind of just,
I think it's because of the cons, man. I hate to say it. Like there's no cons and people are looking for eBays and Heritage and whatnot to spend their money. I mean, every year, right? People set away X amount of dollars for comic book funds, right? Going to cons, and since there's no cons, there's got to be an alternate route, right?
saving money on autographs, saving money on celebrity pictures and stuff.
Yep.
Buying books.
Yep.
Right.
And it's safer, right? I mean, theoretically, it's safer.
I mean, you're paying for an experience. You're paying for a piece of newsprint, whatever you want to do, man.
I mean, I'm talking like big boy books. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
You don't have to walk around with 25 grand. If you're a big dude.
Yeah.
So, next is right, Cerebus.
The Cerebus, the Aardvark.
The old Aardvark.
This is a tough book. Census data still, after this being a hot book for, since forever. 40 plus years, this has been a hot book. Census is only 255, 196, 594s, and 592. So real tough end grade, extremely tough. I would go into the sales data. This one sold for $1,100. It's actually right in line with the sales data for the last 2 years. They've pretty much stayed within a couple $100 at any grade. Interesting to me because we just talked about the copper keys in the independent realm with the Crow and the primer jumping significantly. This guy feels like maybe it's primed for a bump, unless the property's just dead. I don't know. Maybe we've missed the run of nostalgia. It's past its 25-year hump and it's just dead and not relevant anymore. But
Dave Sim should not run his mouth. He's become more of a figure than the book, right? That's kind of the problem with it. Now, regardless of whether or not you agree with or disagree with his politics, him as a figure has eclipsed the series, which a lot of people who've collected forever and ever, me, love. Like I read it when I was a kid and felt like so sophisticated. But now you can't get like past him to appreciate the work. And I think that's the problem.
All right. I got to tag Nico in on this one because I got distracted and was forgetting graphics and let him talk about the Black Rider number 8.
Giddy up, man. I don't know if this was a heck of a sale. It's a beautiful copy. I don't know whether or not it was still a deal. There's only 12 blue labels on the census. Okay. So to give you some perspective on this book, at some point in time, it became very widely known that this was Stan Lee under the hood there, the black mask, kind of poetic for the times. But back in 2009, the Edgar Church Mile High copy that was 6.5 sold for $772.
Ooh. You want to hear something that's even crazier? There's a CBCS copy that's a 7.0.
Okay.
Floating around.
To give you some perspective, the 4.5 is an Ohio pedigree. In that same year, it sold for a whopping $125. Okay, so by May of 2020, a 6.5 copy, a 4.5 copy is moving for $565. In 2016, a 6.0 sold for about $1,000. I have no idea, in light of the facts and the history and, I don't want to call it nostalgia. That's not the right word, but like the poignant sort of historical moment we're in. People wanting to spend money on Stan Lee wearing a face mask. Whether or not this was a brilliant buy or what exactly is going on, but it's certainly an interesting one. So congratulations to the buyer and the seller.
I haven't even heard. Have anyone heard of this pedigree Okajima copy?
Yeah, Okajima is the best pedigree of them all.
Yeah, so this is the highest graded, I guess. It's only there's a 7.0. It's an Okajima copy, and there's some graded notes there for you too.
I will call it the second greatest pedigree, but yes.
Okay, we can argue about that later. But do you want to talk about the Okajima?
No, I want to save that for Vintage Voyage. We're going to do a pedigree issue too.
Perfect.
But
sorry,
I thought this book would kind of die down because the big thing was getting Stan Sig on it, man. It really was. Let's get a stand on this one and get it slabbed. So interesting that it's
how many of those are there? The signed ones?
Oh hell, I don't know.
3, right?
No,
did you guys say there was 3?
No, that was a different book. So
I don't even look. Am I terrible that I just don't really care about signed books?
Especially by Stan Lee.
The thought of this having an autograph on it breaks my heart.
Yeah, especially in silver.
As long as we're all on the same page there. Sorry.
Honestly, of the books that Stan could sign and I don't get upset about, this is one I'm fine because
right. At least he's on it. It's but still, I'm not I don't know.
Nobody cared about this book before they could get a Stan Lee Sig. So ruin these. Don't ruin them. But don't put a freaking AF-15 in front of the man. Let him sign himself. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. That one's not going to be signed, and it looks like a nice copy, though. So maybe they're thinking they're getting the top of the census or near it.
It's gorgeous.
Moving on. Boy.
This is a head scratcher to me, honestly. I had to reach out to our man Topher, and he actually reached out to he was in the chat. Hold on one second. Let me pull up my information before I screw things up.
Yeah, because I felt like I've seen this one before, multiple times. Is this a tough one to find?
Steve Horn, who was in the chat earlier.
Everything DCU.
Yeah, he is who Topher, who I reached out to. It's a tough one. He's not sure the price would get that high again, and he's not even sure it's the most rare type of book in the Adventures of Superman run. I'm not sure why this one went so damn high.
Oh no, we know why. Come on,
no, we do.
Look at the cover.
Go ahead.
Thorn. Right? Rose and Thorn?
Yes. I mean,
why do we care of that?
Because they're going to have an HBO Max series and somebody's
kidding me?
Trying to make a play on that. Yeah, that was. Yeah, remember when that got announced? And
those Adam Hughes books are going to skyrocket then.
Well, the Hughes books are solid play. The new, I think, was it New 52, the number one, where it's like the younger, she's like one person, Rose Thorn.
Yeah, that's the Hughes books where she's a psychotic or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so anyway, yeah, that was, it was announced. We'll see how it goes, if it actually ever gets made, blah, blah, blah. But I think that was the impetus for this, right? If somebody's trying to play ball on that issue, they're like, that's going to be the book. It's not the Lois Lane book. It's not, who knows?
This feels like crazy buy to me. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't have paid that amount, but I'd be happy to sell somebody a copy of that if I can find one real quick for that amount.
To each their own, but man, I don't even play many of the variants, the newsstand, the other stuff. There's a couple.
Did Stein go to find his copies?
I swear I went to look. I had to go pull up my DCU boxes to see if I.
You probably sold it in Dayton 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh! I was like, oh my gosh! I need to go look at all my DCU variants, and I do not have that one.
I mean, I'll play on a few of the keys, but way cheaper. I don't know. This is nuts. So I don't know. To whatever, play your thing. If the rest of the DC Universe variants go, then Ben is a rich man. And
hey, I will say that I have noticed several of these DC Universe selling for really high dollars. There's across the board. There are many of them that are selling close to $100 for some of these now.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will say, if you want to see a definitive kind of article on the DC Universe, I put the link in the bio, but Topher in 2017 worked with some of the guys, including, I believe, Steve Horn there and Ben and maybe Matt DeVoe, on putting together what they could best find as, what's rare, what's not, what's there. So check out the link in the bio on ComicBookInvest.com.
It was me, Steve, and Trey, who worked really hard on that. It was it's exhausting. It's an exhaustive list, and there are some that are so rare we couldn't even find pictures for them. So there's a checklist. We have a checklist of all the books, and several of them do not have pictures because we can't find a picture.
So wow,
they're so rare.
That's
if
awesome.
If you want to dig into the DC rabbit hole, that's where you go.
Gosh, I would love to see DC do it again. Just start randomly putting them in some convenience store or something like that. I mean, just something because that's really what that whole series was it was just completely random. I mean, like some of them are super plentiful and other ones have like 2 copies.
Well, I mean, you got them at the Sam's Club of the world or wherever the hell they were selling comics. I mean, in the bundles and that.
KB Toys.
And dude, I remember going to KB Toys all the time when I was a kid, man. Sad.
Yeah. Kmart's. I mean, it was just random places that those things showed up at.
I mean, if I see the right book, I will buy the DC Universes. I don't specifically hunt them out. I mean, the most famous ones are kind of the Superman Death of and Life of, and I know Nightwing 1 has one. I know there's the Green Lantern, Kyle Renner stuff has it. So I don't know, but those aren't generally the rare ones either.
No, the Death of Superman ones are. Those are difficult.
Not all of them. Some of them.
No, pretty much all of them. Yeah. No, there's a couple of them that are ridiculously hard, but all the Death of Superman with the black border around them, they're all worth money. They're all tough to find.
So, when you're digging through bins, I know we all look at the top of the cover, but sometimes it pays to look at the bottom.
Yep.
Do we want to hit?
Wait. Here's something interesting I've not seen. Modern Key said Thor 169 is reported to be the first black winner on Marvel Wiki. Oh, good God.
Isn't Thor 169 the Wolverine, or is that Thor 119?
I think you're thinking 19. This is the Galactus origin, but geez, really?
Yeah, I think Black Winter, or I think Marvel Wiki is now me and Gary on the Specfist Club. We we explained that like 3 months ago.
You guys are just changing stuff.
Oh God! I give up. Are we out of content now and moving to pickups? Are we done with? I'm done with sales.
What else? I mean, anything else crazy really happened?
I don't know. We'll get off here and there'll be 2 more crazy things.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's wild out here, man.
Wild west of comics, man. Every time we think something.
couple things I want to say. Shout out to the Comic Book Fiend Club. Thank you for doing the interview with Nico this weekend. Those guys are stand-up dudes, a stand-up crew over there. What they're doing is good stuff. So big shout out to Comic Book Fiend Club. And
charity events a year.
Say that again, Z?
They do several charity events a year, so that's stuff I like to hear.
Hey, if you're doing an interview with Nico, you're it now. I mean, just. I mean, seriously, if he asks you to do an interview, you should be doing an interview.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
I got told no today. It was pretty sad. It hurt my feelings on the inside. I got hurt.
Not everybody knows what they're doing.
No, that guy's kind of a moron. But that's not the point. I invited him, and I wanted him to say yes. So whatever. Anyway. Next.
3 Comic Monty. Shout out to everybody that's watching 3 Comic Monty. Mike Mayhew joined the guys for 3 Comic Monty. We realized there's some sound issues. We're trying to figure out how to fix that. We will be better about that in the future.
But
Hey, Mayhew is awesome.
they traded me and Ben for Mayhew. Winners.
Yeah, he seemed like so down to earth. I mean, he was just like he was all on it.
I will say that's the best show some of you aren't watching, so check it out, man, because it is the little show that probably will.
Right? Yeah.
It's a quick watch. It's usually 15, 20 minutes tops, and you get to see some cool covers on a theme.
Yeah, very cool stuff. All right, let's see here. You guys got any pickups you want to go through?
Yes.
All right, who wants to go first? Z?
I'll go. Why not? Because, I mean, Jesus Christ, I think I'm only buying foreigns now, pretty much. I had one non-foreign come in. Before Bryan hit me to the 9.8, I bought a non-9.8. It took forever to come in the mail because it got stuck in the USPS system for 2 weeks. But another copy of the all-new Inhumans 5, the 1/100 hip-hop variant. So I talked my own self into it. I pulled a Mel and bought a myself into. Bought 2 of them now. I'm not even sure why I necessarily picked these, but these are some Navarro Superman comics. And I just, sometimes if you see kind of nice covers in a good grade in a Mexican book, I buy them. I really like this one. I don't recall seeing it anywhere, so I'm not sure if it's actually an issue or if it's a redraw. But with the Supergirl and the Lex Luthor and the Son of Luthor, I thought it was cool. Lois Lane and the fighting cover. I think this is a redraw somewhere, so I liked it. Superman, Jimmy Olsen battling the judge in a court case, and Clark Kent as a magician with a mannequin Superman. So I don't know. I think some of them are real covers, some of them aren't. But I really just picked them. They were cheap, and I liked the covers. So sometimes you just do it. I moved to Mexican books instead of American books. That's my dollar bin digging now.
You're gonna have more. You're gonna have so many foreigns here soon that foreigns will be more common in the U.S. than they are in the foreign countries, and they're going to be trying to buy them back from you just to reclaim their books.
Reclaim them. Maybe.
Basically, what Ben's trying to say in a very tactful, kind way, because he's that kind of person, is you're an American imperialist. An American comic imperialist.
Maybe. 2 of the guys in the chat, I'll just say boiler up. So instead of Ben and his stupid Ohio. I did acquire a bit of a set. Not a set, a start of a set. I traded away one of my precious Spider-Man 300 Italians. I got some other books that I showed, but these were ones that had kind of arrived a little later. I guess I'm starting to build a Hobgoblin set. Got the Brazilian.
Nice.
The Canadian, French, German.
That's gorgeous, dude. Wow.
German's pretty close to the original, too. And the Italian, which I kind of like with the yellow.
Oh, no, those are beautiful.
So I don't know. I traded a Spider-Man key for other Spider-Man keys. We'll call it a day.
Good
I
stuff.
have a shit ton of stuff floating in the mail from I don't even know how many countries now. And welcome to my nightmare. I did buy U.S. books, so next week I will have a U.S. book. One of very few that I buy anymore, but I'm not against them. I feel like I've bought a lot that I want. And
Who
there's
says that? I'm not against them. What has been done to you?
nothing.
I'm sorry for whatever we did or said. I apologize.
I just get so distracted. It's like shiny fish, like, oh, I've never seen that. And that's where I live now, is they show me books I've never seen and send me a picture and say, hey, do you want to buy this? And I say, yes, I do want to buy this book from you, sir. Can I send you money and you ship it for, in 2 months to me, and I'll see it again and I'll forget I bought it and it'll be a pleasant surprise. It's like Christmas all the time in my house.
I mean, dude, I'm buying Golden Age romance books, so like we all have our flaws.
Listen, I was there 2 years ago. When you get to Westerns, then you know you're 1 year away from fucking sick.
Yeah, listen, I looked at the Westerns. They just didn't have any of the issues I was looking for.
So, listen, I have went down a deep hole. I started at common stuff, and now I have whittled my way down to I buy stuff from foreign countries.
I bought some ratio variants though today.
You bought a ratio variant?
Yeah. Yeah. I might buy more. I got to look at the numbers. I think it's like a winner. We'll see. We'll see how I can do. I'll talk to you guys about it after the show.
A couple Boilermakers in the chat. DJ and Dennis Chandler. Yes, we'll meet at Harry's sometime.
So is that all you got?
Yes.
My next?
Sure, just go clockwise.
All right, clockwise and it goes. All right, so you ready? I bought a ratio variant.
Whoa, I've not seen that one.
Yeah, it's the only good MODOK ratio variant.
Holy cow, that is creepy.
And I think I
really
paid
creepy.
Yeah, I think I paid cover price for it.
What's the ratio on it?
I don't know, like a 1 to 15 or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's MODOK Assassin 2. He's the villain in the video game. They've got the Patton Oswalt series that wasn't canceled. Neither it nor Hitmonkey were canceled. I'm probably gonna try to do my best to get it slabbed. It's rock solid 9.8. I say that now, and that shit goes for me. The other one I grabbed was this one, which I just love it. Dave Stevens goodness. Hello, young lady. Boy, that guy's leery, creepy.
Not a good person.
No, very bad. Rocketeer. She's glorious. I paid $20 happily for this high grade beauty. I've never seen it before. I didn't even know it existed. And I was like, please and thank you. Take my money. So
cool.
Yeah, that's about the extent of stuff I haven't thrown up elsewhere. Apparently, TJ has tons of those. I don't know which one he's talking about, but we got to talk because I'm interested.
I'm going to assume the Stevens.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
I've never seen that MODOK.
No.
And if you have a stack of MODOK, you're a sick individual.
All right, I've only got 2 because I don't buy anything anymore, I think. But I do got some order. I got an order at CGC and at PSA, so I actually got 2 orders at PSA. So I got stuff that will be coming in at some point. But so for comics, I ordered these months ago on pre-order just because I just wanted it, and it's the Catwoman, the Shannon Mare.
Oh, that's glorious, dude.
Yeah, I was following Shannon Mare before everybody else was. I was buying all the Big Dog Ink ones before everybody jumped on board. And this is on his Instagram page long ago, and I kept in my mind, I was thinking, man, somebody should buy that art and just throw it on a cover because for me it's about as good looking as a Catwoman cover as you can get. But so that finally came in. And then this is not comics, but this I showed the guys this earlier. This was my favorite player growing up. I'm from the Cincinnati area, so I'm a Reds fan. And So my favorite player was Dave Concepcion, and it's his rookie card, and it's an 8.5, which is
Bang bang.
for this set for 1971 Topps is extremely difficult.
One of my all-time favorite sets.
There are only of this rookie card, there are only 34 PSA 9s, and there are 0 PSA 10s. So there's only 7 8.5s. So this is pretty much as high as I could go. A nine sell for over $2,000. So I couldn't really afford that. But I've always wanted that card in really high grade, and that's as high grade as I can get. So I was really, really excited. This just came in today, so I was really, really happy.
Throw that up there again, could you, Ben? I want to see. Could you show the back? I love the backs of the 71 Topps. Oh, it's not going to work with the green screen.
That's truly, buying nostalgia.
It's a green card, so
it's a green card, yeah.
But yes,
cool.
It's centered well. It's got the only issue is just a real tiny edge, but the corners 71 Topps, because it's all black. It's the same issues with comics, all those all black covers. And that 71 set is just brutal to try and find high grade copies.
My favorite card in that set is the Nolan Ryan. I love the Nolan Ryan in that set.
Yeah, the Nolan Ryan is exceptionally expensive. If you can find it, it's kind of like those those pedigree copies from the high grade. They show up at national shows, and that's about it. Nobody really. A lot of people in cards have they have set registries, so they want the highest graded set, and so they put those high grades in some of those set registries, and then they never leave those sets. So. But anyways,
it's just like comics. Some of those comics will never leave, the collections that they're in. So,
right.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have a few pickups. I picked up some books today. I went out to run some errands and stop by a record store that was open. There's very few comic shops that are open in Phoenix right now. So I stopped at a record shop the 71 Topps. You're right. The Thurman Munson is almost just as good. That Thurman Munson 71 Topps might be one of the most iconic cards of all time.
Yeah.
That sideways view where he's trying to tag somebody out or something. Anyways.
Yes.
So anyways, I went and hit up a record shop that sells comics every once in a while. And I'll show you guys what I picked up. This is a shout out to, I'm not sure if this is the one, Nico, but this is a shout out to Nico and Gary. I believe Gary and Nico were talking about this on the Spectres Club. Was this it? Nico, is this it?
I don't know.
This is I thought this is something you guys were talking about. Maybe I'm mistaken. This is the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man trade. Maybe you weren't talking about that.
Maybe Gary was, and I wasn't paying attention because he confuses me because he's very smart.
Yeah, but
it's pretty sweet, dude. What's that thing sell for?
I don't know. Like to
get it and read it.
This has the reason I saw this is because I thought somebody had mentioned this to me, and maybe I thought it was.
TJ says that's a good one. He would know. He's smart about it. Is it out of print? I take it.
This is the first print. I don't know if it's out of print, but it's basically what it is it says it's Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 1 through 4 plus Miles' first appearance in Ultimate Fallout 4. So
winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. So I figure I paid $9.99 for it. It's worth a shot.
Yeah. If it's out of print, if TJ says it's a good one, it's a great one.
This is another one that is pretty torn up, but it was $2, and I'm like, it's worth taking a shot at just to talk about. It's a Grosset and Dunlap Penguin.com young readers book, but it's It's the Clone Wars, the new Padawan.
Oh yeah,
wow.
I've heard about that one.
So I mean, it's pretty tore up. That'll come off nice and easy, but other than that,
You'll make more than $2 on it.
Amen.
so I picked all these up for like either $1.99 or $2. Some of them are still gonna have the price tags on them. This one will take off just because I'm a big MODOK fan too.
No, we don't plan this stuff.
So I grabbed that. All right, let's see here. What else? I picked this up. This is the Dr. Aphra #1. So I picked it up for $2.
Nice.
For like, isn't this? I could be wrong about this, but for $2, it's worth taking a shot. Is this the tough one to find?
It
Is
wasn't.
that like a 7th print or something? No,
It's
the
seventh.
7th print has them in blocks.
Oh,
like-
you're right.
Okay.
Is that the third?
This is the second.
Oh, the no.
Yeah. I think it's the 7th print or something like that.
Seventh. You're right. I remember that one.
This one I'm gonna save for last because, well, I'm not gonna save it for last. It could be nothing. It could be something good, but it was interesting to me. This is Masters of the Universe: The Power of the Fear, Dream Halloween 2003. I don't know if this is anything.
Huh?
Have you
Wow.
guys ever heard of that?
Absolutely not.
Big leg. Get on here.
Yeah, is that DC or Image or who's got it?
Image. No,
No, that's
Wildstorm?
that was.
MV
Yeah.
Creations.
Yeah, before they became that. Holy shit. I don't know what that is, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I mean, it could be something. Who knows?
It-
Now we're getting into
That's
some of this is some of the stuff that I think I talked about last week. And may have been on the show. It was on one of the shows I was on. But this is some of the stuff that I remember as a kid that I really
Cross
dug into.
TJ. That's
There we go, cross gen. Yeah. So, if you guys remember back in like the late 90s, maybe mid 90s, there was a company called Awesome Entertainment, I think. And you could get like, they were one of the very first exclusive store variant things. And you could get a lot of image, like exclusive variants through them. This one's not one of them, but I have a bunch of them. So, but one of the things that they really latched onto was image books like The Darkness, Ascension, Dark Child, all those books. This is the Wizard 1/2 for Darkness.
Oh yeah.
This is one of those special ones, I believe, from, well, I don't know, but it's signed.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
And they were all $2, which
Yeah, I'll get on $2 for that stuff.
yeah. This one is I was really into this book when it first got previewed. It turned out to be a shit story, but the art's gorgeous. This is Ascension, the Gold Wizard 1/2 variant.
Nice.
Beautiful. This one is Dark Child, the Gold Wizard 1/2 variant.
Okay.
Yeah, these are great, dude.
Yeah, I love these. Now we're getting into some of the stuff that is really cool. This is signed by Randy Queen. I'll get rid of this stupid. Well, it's not coming off very well. Signed by Randy Queen. It's the Dynamic Forces Dark Child Summer Preview.
That was smart.
Wow.
And yeah, so Jimmy Palmiotti, I think, colored it.
All right.
This one's cool. This is the Darkness. This is the American Entertainment Special Limited Edition Gold Star variant.
Huh.
That's awesome.
These are
Yeah.
things I have not seen.
So I used to, but what American
How the
Entertainment?
hell you know this stuff is beyond me too. It's amazing. I want you to know that.
I bought directly from the Awesome Entertainment or American Entertainment. They would send it in the mail. You would send away for it. They would send it in the mail, and they would constantly send you things where you could, buy from. This is interesting. This is and I love these old Antarctic press books. You can find, especially the I forget what's it called when they put human qualities on animals and stuff. What are they? Anthropomorphication.
Yeah.
Some of the anthropomorphication books on Antarctic press has some really early. Who's the guy that did?
Strangers in Paradise.
Yeah, Strangers in Paradise. It has really early
Terry
Strangers.
Moore.
Yeah,
Terry Moore.
Terry Moore. A lot of early Terry Moore shit. Genesis number 2, I think, is the very first. It's basically Strangers in Paradise.
Creepy cover, but
yes, very creepy. This is the Top Cow Heroes Con Special Edition from 1997 Ascension Preview. Look at how gorgeous that art is, man. When this came out this was one of the early Top Cow things. Silvestri, there's Michael Turnus. This is Finch. Look at how beautiful that art was. Basically, it was like an angel. You know, it had like those religious overtones. I loved it, man. Very cool. I always loved angel and demonic art when I was a kid. This is another one. This is Ascension, the Fan Club edition from Dynamic Forces. Number
Bryan
1.
must have gone to Catholic school too.
No, I didn't, but I did spend 2, almost 3.5 years studying religious theology in college. Yeah. This is back to some of those adult anthropomorphication books. And I'll pick them up for $2 just to find out if I got lucky. Tank Vixens.
It's just sweet, dude.
Yeah. Here's another one. Tank Vixens. There you go. Gotta love the rat tail, right?
Yeah, bitch fight, dude. It's a great cover.
This one is kind of cool. This is I don't know if it's worth anything, but it's got a beautiful cover. Darth Maul Death Sentence number 2, Brothers in Blood.
Yeah,
So-
it's great.
Did you see that Brian Decoa case that Ascension was Finch's first work?
Ooh, interesting. Thank you. For any of you guys that don't know, I love creator firsts. I search them out. I want to know what their first cover was. I want to know what their first artwork was, their first professional work, all that fun stuff. So thanks, Decoy. Appreciate that, brother. So I picked up also the Twilight, a bunch of the Twilight runs, the first Quinlan Voss stuff. Picked up a bunch of those.
Smart.
I don't know if this is worth anything, but I remember somebody talking about it. It might have been you, Nico. It might have been Ben C.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if this is anything to worry about, but I saw it had Rose on there, and I know Rose is a big deal right now. This is kind of cool. These older runs of these Marvel books are kind of hard to find, but this is Morbius, the Living Vampire, number 25. First issue of a Dark New Era. This is one of the later issues in the run, I believe.
Very cool.
And then this is the last one of all them. And this is just you got to love old school Usagi Yojimbo.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So those are all picked up today. And I'm pretty stoked about that.
I think
I don't think. What's that?
you'll do well.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, if I can sell them, you never know. But this, real quick, this was interesting too. This was in there. This was a 99 cents guy. This is Ninja High School number 9. Look at that cover. Kind of like Power Rangers-esque.
Well, Ninja.
Yeah. Hey, you guys reminded me about.
Warrior.
We should talk about that with the Warrior Nun. Okay, so for spoiler, it's not Shannon Masters. She dies in like the first 15 seconds of the TV show. It's a character named Ava. I might have called her Anna earlier, but anyway, Ava. I don't know if she appears in any of the other Warrior Nun comics. You know, there's so many different like iterations of the Warrior Nun, right? Obviously, that's a mantle that's taken on by these heroines over time, and then they become like the matriarch of this like Catholic secret order who fights demons, blah blah blah. Somebody knows the answer to that. I'd appreciate knowing the answer to that, and I'm done.
JJ puts up Ninja High School has all kinds of parody covers, good ones too. There is a Ninja High School that I have. I've showed it on the show before. It's a free comic they gave out as a PSA announcement. That's Ninja High School Tackles Venereal Diseases. I've showed it on the show before. It is a great cover. I love it. If you can find it, you'll see it. I think it's Ninja High School deals with STDs.
I like the Death Tells kids how to put on a condom.
Oh
book.
yeah.
I think I think if Sandman takes off, that's like a smart buy. You can get those for nothing right now, and it could go bananas. They're tough and high grade because they're ash can size. But you can find them in dollar bins. I mean, I just grabbed like a stack of 10 of them for $10. I don't think that's the worst decision anybody's ever made.
No.
Hey, two things real quick. I forgot this. I forgot to give a shout out to Johnny Galindo. He sent me this set of these.
Oh wow!
These cards from the movie, from the Into the Spider-Verse. So they're like oversized cards, but they came in packs. So those are very cool. So I just wanted to tell him thank you for that. But then also, Dennis Hayes was asking in the comments. He said that there should be a Nolan Ryan card of the fight between him and Robin Ventura. And there actually is kind of one of the Topps 2020. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. The Topps 2020 project. There was a card, and I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to blow this up as much as I can. So this is an art depiction, and I'm going to scroll this up, and you see right here, there it is. Nolan Ryan, headlock, Robin Ventura, taking him out. Right there on the card. It's the only time it's ever been on a card, but it is on there. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, so if you ever always wanted that as a baseball card, it's the Topps 2020. It's this one right here.
And that is the 71 main picture. The main picture is from the 71 design.
Yeah, so that's card number. It's like 67. It looks like. We'll have the have that Robin Ventura fight right there on the card. So, anyways, I wanted to show him that real quick.
I want to give a real quick shout out also to Rain in Threes. He hit me up on Instagram. I've talked about this on other shows. The first Scotty Young Marvel baby variant, and I was asking, does anybody know if this is the first one? And he gave me some really good information. This is the very first Scotty Young baby variant that had that they made variants of. The very first Marvel Scotty Young babies was X-Men babies that Scotty Young did like a 4-issue series of 3 years before this. And they're all X-Men baby covers just like this, but they weren't incentive ratio variants. Yes. So
very cool.
Yeah, so you can find those for really cheap out there, and I love stuff like that. Do I think it's ever going to pop off? No, but the Scotty Young fans can be kind of
voracious.
Yeah, but yeah. So
hey, did we plan this? It's been 2 hours.
I know.
Good. How do we do that?
Big shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. We want to say thank you again to everybody that's joining us. Make sure you guys go check out comicbookinvest.com for all your comic speculation and investing needs. It is the place to go right now for amazing articles. There's a lot of you can get the Hot 10 there every Friday. So make sure you guys go check out comicbookinvest.com. Make sure you like and subscribe to Flipside. And while we were kind of chilling in the background, hanging out, we'll end on the new.
One more thing. A reminder. Once we're done and it's not live, leave in the real comments your Aliens Predator Marvel crossover for a chance to win Nico's Hawkeye second print.
And we'll make a post on Instagram explaining it.
I don't care if you sell it for $200 either. Like, you don't have to keep it. I'm not like one of those weirdos that's like, I'm not going to give you a deal on this book in my comic shop if you're just going to turn around and sell it to one of your friends. Like, I don't care if you burn it. It's yours. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Amen. And on that note, we'll see you next time.
You're listening to Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside.